Hey, Tommy. All right, yeah. So we should be getting people. We'll like wait a minute for people to file in before we like get into crap. I guess we can actually.
Hoffman actually made the discussion column. Ugh.
But I don't think this. I don't think Cosme is actually like a next season of Waifu Wars problem. So she'll be in discussion later down the road. But I think for now we'll just throw her down here.
But you won't put Neo Tengu in there? Come on, she's the bad one, right? I can't have Grunchiel. I can't have Neo Tengu. I am actively being oppressed.
I mean, you can have Grandchild, just not as your captain.
Why not?
What could possibly go wrong with allowing
I
Team
don't
Grandchild?
see a problem. Wait, with allowing what?
With allowing Grandchild as your captain, what could possibly go wrong?
I mean, name me two things that could go wrong.
She wins every game.
She doesn't win every game she's in now.
Okay, but JV, you know.
I'm just saying, when I first ever heard that Raven was starting this, I was like, damn, I could be Captain Grenshield. And then they're just like, she's banned. And I'm like, go fuck yourselves, okay? My girl deserves to fly free, being first picked by me, okay?
Oh, I should probably post the link, huh? In Discord because people are too lazy or they don't have me followed or something, I guess. I don't know. I mean, we want people to join VC is more important than them joining stream.
Yeah.
Hey, Loon. Hey, Race Crew. All right. So I think I'm setup wise, I'm good to go. So we're just gonna wait for a couple more people to fill in before we like get into the real discussion here. Um, so I guess kind of going through things to start off with, I released like an initial draft of the format rules already that I pinged everybody with. People should have seen that for those who are like in the Mistcord with the Waifu Wars role. Um, it's basically the same format rules as last season, just clarified a couple things. Um, I think that there's a couple other things we need to get into a little bit more detail on. Like, I think I put some notes about like how we handle like if somebody ducks a bunch of games because that was a common complaint because of the whole Group A mess from this season of a bunch of people only showing up like the last week to play their games. So I think I put a little bit on there on that, but we'll want to go into a bit more detail when we release like the actual season rules. Um, Other than that, the main thing that I'm hoping we can discuss and accomplish today is creating a set of hero rules, you know, so that if we do like a follow-up stream later this week, we can have played games with a set of hero rules and see if it's stupid or not. Because like Burn, I think is the biggest one that like we're like, oh, in rule stream, yeah, it's probably fine. He was a little strong, not too crazy. And then a lot of people were upset about actually fighting Burn once they started actually fighting Burn. So he's a big one. Um, Most of the others I've thrown up in discussion here were just in suggestions to discuss. So
Carrier is still a big ben, I think, just to make it fair for the newer players.
so who said that they could make it? That's like not here. I'd prefer more voices in VC, so it's not just like JV Meow and I speaking.
Hi.
Hey folk. But yeah, I guess this is probably what we're gonna have to work with and start talking. Um,
Um, my my one thing before we talk individual heroes, should we talk like the categories themselves with the amount of times someone has had some form of suggestion of abolishing the
Boost.
multiple columns of pick one and do a pick some amount?
Yeah, so I think the main thing with booster there. So I went ahead and so these two were here, of course. I went ahead and threw Patty up for discussion because I think she really needs to be banned, right? Let's go ahead and just say that. But I
Yeah.
also threw Hoffman up because I think he's also trending on the strong side. And if we wanted to combine these two categories, which is also part of why I moved a couple of them into, like, I forgot to move Tabby on the updated version, so I threw her down into banned because she
Yeah.
was. And then I think I moved Julian up here to discuss, Lavina up here to discuss if he should stay and pick one or be moved. But yeah, we'll want to talk about if we want to combine these two into like a pick one or a pick two.
I'm still considering just banning all those heroes except of Epsi.
I mean, we can't ban every strong hero.
There will be new strong heroes. That's fine.
I mean, I don't think that Obora was a problem. I don't think Pepsi was a problem. I don't think Connie was really a big problem. I don't think Grenchel was a problem. Like, I don't think any of these were like, you can't do anything to these heroes ever, and that they were massive problems. Some people didn't always have to
I
ban
think
them that high. Like, we actually saw a lot of
Pepsi is
Grenchel
wrong in
games.
this slot.
Like, we actually saw a lot of Grenchel games this season. Like, as somebody who's watched like 100 something Waifu War matches this game, we saw a lot of second pick Grenchel because people aren't seeing her as high of a threat value as some of the other units in the format.
Gratial is fine in that category, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, I don't think that
Because
any of these need to be banned.
because the main point of the ban discussion is that once they are picked, 90% of the time they decide wins. Like the last final match, Spatty pretty much destroyed Meow on second.
Yeah, I mean,
on the
Patty does that all.
second
Patty
match.
was a hero in pick one booster that was stronger than almost all the pick one DPS. You know, that's why I think Patty is such a problematic hero. Yeah.
But I
So
think that
aside
should
from
be
how little counterplay there is to her,
the
Yeah.
point to
I mean,
the ban
that's why she's
heroes.
stronger than a lot of pick one heroes because there isn't really counterplay because there's not immunity healers. It's you kill one of their units and you get punished for it, you know, which is really dumb.
yeah,
Is there something that we're looking at to follow along with what's going on, or
Yeah,
Twitch stream.
on Twitch, you should be able to see the tier maker.
sucks?
I can also
Or
stream on
Gratial.
Discord if you want. If that makes it easier for people.
I can. Oh, is will you be okay streaming all of
I
that?
think so. We have good internet. We should be fine.
Okay.
Awesome.
It's like I can just restream your stream in Discord if you want.
It's fine. It should be okay. Let me know if anything funny happens. Hey, Kong.
Okay,
So
so
do we want to just jump into hero discussions or do we want to talk about if we do? So that was one of the suggestions is people were talking about combining this category into like just one big clop of heroes and make it like pick two.
I will still just make it pick one.
yeah, I don't like making it too.
So
If you want to
Yeah,
combine it, it's
yeah,
fine, but I don't want to make it pick two.
I
I think
also don't
that's
want to make it pick two because I think that if you box like Grenchel and Connie, that gets really, really strong. Like stronger than the existing booster plus pick one.
well because you already have the pick two tanks, and if you then have pick two DPS that can just sit behind the tank, you're kind of, if you go up against someone that's playing tank push, you're really they're going to get something very strong.
Yeah, I mean it's also the most of the DPS in pick one are traditionally the DPS that are really good against tank push, to be honest. Like this is really good against tank push, this is really good against tank push, this is really good against tank push, this is really good against tank push. So that's, you know, they're getting two of those instead in their box. But yeah, I mean I do think it's kind of inappropriate to make this pick two. I think that yeah, so it's just really a question of can boxes handle losing the ability to run both like Ashmar and one of these pick one DPS? You know, is that skewing too far the other way?
Definitely.
I think they can.
Mm-hmm.
In before Zuko, Sadao, and Mikey don't show up to this stream and then throw the absolute biggest hissy fit.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, I was hoping we would get at least one of them
them.
showing up because they are going to be mad.
I mean, isn't it fine to keep both categories? Like if you're banning the biggest reason that it sucked to have the booster and the DPS was Patricia.
Yeah,
Like
she
if
was definitely the
Patricia's
biggest
gone,
problem.
like nobody really cares that much about Ashmar.
It was mostly
Is-
just about combining because
Trust
we're
me,
getting
I care a lot about Ashna.
we're getting a lot of categories at this point.
Yeah,
breakdown.
Ashamar. I think Ashamar is very strong. I think IBC is very strong with these units too. I think it's a good compromise to have a pick one and include them just all there. I think that's fine.
My take is still, if we ban Carrier, move Epsi out of there so our Sin density doesn't get too low in the game.
Yeah, we'll talk about that if we do decide to do anything with Kyra. She's kind of later. We'll get to her later.
She should
So
be banned.
for now, let's keep this as this. We're not going to delete the category for now in case we do decide to go back to that. But for now, let's look at it like this, as a pick one with these three in it. Is there any particular order we want to get to this stuff? I kind of just threw them in an arbitrary order.
No, just start.
I mean,
Right.
I guess top down at this point, yeah.
So Flo, we moved out of the pick one healer category. I don't think we should have. I think that was a mistake. I think she should stay here. She is strong.
I'm fine with that. That's
She
fine.
was in a lot of boxes this season because
She's in. Isn't she in virtually like every box?
that
Usually,
Is
like-
there any other healer that? Because my only thing is like thinking about tank push and needing to potentially run 4 good healers at a time in
Tank
case.
push isn't running flow.
Shut the fuck up!
So I mean, tank push can run flow, but so the current tank push healer comp rate is you take one of these, you take Sophia, you take something like Agnes Mariandel, and then you have some other
And Iris.
Yeah, you have some other hero built that most people don't. Something like Iris, something like Angelica, something like Nymph,
or
you know.
Lico or something.
Yeah, like the more rare flavor heroes. If you want to be tank push, you need to have this category, Sophia, and then something weird like that, like DPS healers or old heroes.
If I might say, I think for the people that are playing tank push and play it well, they don't need flow.
No,
They're more than set up to have the healers without her.
yeah,
Because she
True.
doesn't. I don't think she handles the like AOE onslaught as well the rest of them.
flow
But
is more so a big deal in the hybrid boxes than the actual like
Yeah.
dedicated tank push. Yeah,
so I think as a
Sure,
pick one, it's
Florentia
fine.
has so many tools that actually would categorize it better as a booster than an actual healer. But that's my
yeah.
opinion.
That's always been kind of a line across, but she, yes, it's also the same discussion you have to have with Sissy, and I think that she can heal, and she's very strong. Like she can heal for a turn or two. You know, she just doesn't have sustain. I think she's fine in pick one healer. I think it was a mistake. I think she's fine here. Burn. Burn
I
has
think
been
Burns can.
so
Burn,
I'm
burn.
gonna do this. So I think on
You're
these two, we need to have a larger overall discussion about Hellcores because I think that's so right now Hellcores, the fire troops, are banned.
But my issue with Burn is that you can run him perfectly fine on ladder. I see people run him perfectly fine on ladder. What's the purpose of him being here when you can run
As
Burn
an
on ladder?
Empire buffer is the thing. Right now, the only Empire buffer is Lance. If you get rid of Burn,
Who cares? I mean, that doesn't.
But there are people that care is the problem. Like Vice cares, Lonebird cares, other people care.
Okay, there are people that care that and want SP Leon or Leon in this. I mean, there are people that want a lot of crazy things, but I don't know.
So the discussion I want to have, right, is so right now we have Hellcores banned because they would make these two ridiculous. Burn is kind of a separate discussion, but I think in terms of Hellcores on Vincent, they'd also be strong. And I kind of want to get into a whole thing of if we wanted to allow them so that heroes like Toguro and Albedo and some of the other like niche users. Let's pull up their troop list real quick.
That's what I'm doing right now too.
So like there are interesting heroes that get Hellcores that would appreciate being able to use them if we definitely banned Burn and then have a real discussion on where Vincent goes.
Well,
Zuko
I
also
would-
brings up
I'd
interesting-
rather ban Burn than ban the soldiers.
Not only they deal so much freaking damage, but they also disable redeemers.
So
Even
Zuko brings
though-
up a valid point of we could go for the option of not allowing Burn's SP skill, so he's like just base Burn basically. If we wanted to try to keep him in the format as a buffer, because I don't really want to like so the reason Leon's in here is people have suggested allowing Leon in the format and banning Mech Knights. It was heavily downvoted, and banning Mech Knights like for him, but it was suggested. I would rather not bring Leon into the format just to satisfy the role of an
I,
empire
I,
buffer.
I don't think banning skills is really worth it because we're gonna have to reset so many matches because someone forget to
Yeah,
get
so
the
that was the thing
skill
is there's
correctly.
also I think Pualahala and maybe a couple others have echoed this like, oh, we should I think say 41. Rest in peace, say 41, but they've wanted to ban like some heroes 3Cs, stuff like that, like really problematic skills on otherwise fine heroes. I don't think we really want to get into that minutia. I think it's from a managing the tournament perspective, it sounds like a massive headache. And will just cause a lot of replays that don't really need to be a thing. So personally, in my opinion, I would like to see Burn banned or put into pick one. Vincent, I'm kind of okay with. I know some people feel more strongly about him moving to pick one or something, especially if we allow Hellcores. But personally, I think I think I would prefer to see Burn banned, and then I'm okay personally with allowing Vincent in the regular hero pool. And if he's ridiculous, we move him up to pick one after testing. What do other people think?
I'm pretty sure that if you allow Hellcorns and Vincent, you pretty much lose because Vincent will have so much damage that you cannot really contain even with reactive healing like someone from Kayura.
Yeah, Falcor Vincent sounds like almost Patty level bad.
Yeah, it's pretty
I mean,
bad.
his range
You're gonna
sucks.
His range
Is
sucks, but he is one
is
shotting
his
stuff
revive a
like that.
passive?
Yeah,
It's-
his range sucks,
it's a
but we have
passive, yes.
a lot of the other units that don't have the range to actually compete. So in return,
I think
his range is not that bad.
I think moving Vincent to if you're allowing the troops, having him as in the either the pick one category or something is fine. It's going to be much easier to deal with him without Burn and Luke and like a lot of these
as
other
buffers,
huge
yeah.
threats and like what's his face, Josh? Is that Josh or the assassin guy, the AoE assassin guy, whatever his name
Joshua?
is.
Julian.
Julian. Oh, you mean Julian.
Julian.
Yeah, if with overall
And with
decreased player
Patty
pressure,
Con also.
I think it
I
would
think it's
help.
like
I, I'm personally in favor of just putting him back in the DPS pool and seeing how it goes.
because like for example, as someone who's had to play a lot against Vincent in the past, it's not if he is manageable, especially when you can just if his revive is the passive, you can kill him just
So the thing
one
is,
hit.
he does give himself immunity after he goes in, so you have to hit him before he gets in if you want.
Yeah, but his range isn't good.
It's like 9, yeah.
Yeah, it's not that great.
9 range in this format isn't bad. I don't know why you guys think it is.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys even thinking.
It's not stand. I don't. So I've fought against Vincent, and my plan to fight against Vincent in this format somewhat successfully has been to ban buffers. That was hard with Burn and Luke and all these other units allowed, but I think that with them potentially going, it gets easier to deny him strong buffers.
I feel
don't
like you have to ban Hellcores and Burn moves to pick one. I mean, he doesn't. Burn's just not that much stronger than some of the other things allowed in pick one DPS.
The thing with Burn is from the players wanting to play the format thing, almost everybody has gotten really upset about Burn. Like as actually playing against the hero, they don't find it fun. Which is
Yeah, because I mean, I think if you're playing tank push and you have a bunch of healers, Burn's probably not a big deal. But if you're playing anything else, his range and his sword stance and the heal block and the fixed and all that stuff is just very difficult to come back from. I mean, the range is huge, and the AOE is huge.
The issue is you can spread out against it. Against most other AoE, you can spread out against. Burn just says no.
Well, yeah.
So
It's,
then
as I'm saying, it's huge.
So then how much of a problem with him being pick one? Like,
I
how
think
much
he should
problem
be banned.
will there
One
be
is fine,
if
but
you can't combo him with some of these other strong units?
let anyone just find pick one because they get banned regardless.
What?
I mean,
I just think there's enough other, buffers and stuff, and whether it's just attack buffs or anything, I don't think just having someone in for their faction buff is enough. I mean, Burn is a very strong unit that gets not a lot of play, but he does get play on ladder too. You can play him.
He's going to get more starting next week.
Yeah, even with Vargas. I mean, wasn't that the point of this is to allow like some of these units that have fallen off to play. What's the point?
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that was always why I was in favor of banning Tabby and Patricia and all this stuff that is completely playable on ladder.
That is true. Though it comes to the problem that if you ban Burn, there's no Empire buffer anymore, so
It's
you cannot play
Lance.
Empire.
So Lance is theoretically a little bit more playable nowadays than he used to be, but he's still not a great hero.
The hell is a Lance? Only 41 and maybe another 2 people played Lance, man.
Well, they
Like,
only.
what
Just
was
It's
play
not
Lance.
about whether.
It-
It's not about how many played him. It's about how many people could play him. He's not completely useless.
all the Empire units they're totally fine. It's not like there's a bunch of Empire units that are just dying for faction buff. I mean, who the tanks are carrying their own buffs. You know,
In my
the
opinion, I would
DPS.
say at least Burn goes to pick 1 DPS. That would be my way to do it. Because if the problem is that he's appears too constantly, then let's limit his uses in that way.
I'm gonna put it in
I
pick
think-
one for now.
Yeah, I think the latter point is probably the best point. Like he's a perfectly viable unit if you want to play Burn on ladder.
I say we put him in pick one. People scrim with the box and let us know how it goes. You know.
Or put a different category that says into test requires testing or something.
Because like that's the point of doing like a follow-up rule stream. We originally had it scheduled for Monday, but I think someone, maybe Raven, suggested doing it later in the week. I'm fine with that. We have time.
Yeah,
We're
I
not-
just think this way you have time
we're
during
not,
the week. People can scrim, and you can,
like we're not in a rush to start the next season. Like it'll get here when it gets here. You know, people can keep doing scrims and stuff. So we can do more adequate testing than we've done in the past. So we're gonna put him in pick one for now. Let us know if he's still super toxic, people. Please. That is, we need feedback.
I think it's fine to put him there, especially since you're already removing like the pick one booster slot.
Yeah.
You gotta have some things that people need to ban in like a DPS box.
So yeah, so as of now, it's allow Hellcores so that stuff like Togu and Albedo and Vargas, like base Vargas, can benefit off of, and ban Burn if you think he is a threat to your box. I guess I don't know, in a pick one slot. Hopefully, the less ban priority from him not being just in the pool is good enough. We'll see.
I mean, if you're allowing Hellcores, man, it's gonna get pretty bad pretty quickly because you need any form of anti-fix damage in order to survive.
We'll see how it goes. So I want to talk
like,
about
look-
Show.
I think Show
Ben.
fine in pick one. It's literally just mobile Obero. If you let
Oh,
Show charge,
he doesn't even ignore guard. So
exactly, like if you it takes turns to get him going. If you let Show get going, you got showed. I don't know. Don't fight
I
Will.
think the best way to describe him is worse Isolde.
I mean, I don't really equate Show to a Solve. I think it's different because he's not a guarding nor a win con. He is a sometimes kills tanks, very easily cleans up versus rush teams hero.
Yep.
Like that is what he's best at, is actually fighting a rush. Is he gets a punish on some hero and then he becomes this monster. If people are fine, he hasn't been problematic. I just wanted to see if people
I
still
don't think he's
wanted to allow him.
problematic.
It's
Might
also
seem
just
like
more
have a
bloat
good-
in the pick one category. Is honestly half the reason I put him up for discussion. Is just this is a lot of heroes. I don't think he's problematic though. I just wanted to bring it up. So we'll throw him back down there. Do we want to move Lavina into general pool this season, or do we want to keep him where he is?
Yes,
No,
or
leave
OP
it
or
off.
whatever.
Yeah, not captainable, but so
Yeah.
we'll get to the guys later, but right now we've got restricted men and male waifu. What it'll probably end up working out as is we'll allow. I want to get to wings discussion later, but I'm thinking we can basically structure it as like an allowed wings and allowed captain category, and then a not allowed wings, not allowed captain, and you can't have more than the 5 or
Okay.
whatever we've said in the past.
I think Lavina also kind of matters what you're gonna do with like other anti AoE characters like Kyra. Like if you start banning all tank push good answers to AoE, then Lavina becomes a problem. If you still have like Kyra and Elma and whatnot allowed, then it's fine.
Yeah, we can take another look after we've gotten through the rest of this. So Lucretia, I have been really, really on this ban Lucretia train, just because I think that she does too many things in too many boxes, being the attack buff of choice for most drafts, just always being your mass attack bot, having a revive, having the boost with her cast. I think that if we ban Lucretia, it'll do interesting things to people's boxes. She's been a hallmark of this format since season 1, being like one of the top
Yeah,
3 most
she was like
boxed
one of
units.
the early seasons. She was like one of the highest
Like
picked
she was like
units,
the second highest box rate after Agnes or something, and it's been that way like
or like
every single
IBC, I
Waifu
think.
Wars. Yeah, maybe IBC. I think it'd be very interesting for the format to try banning her completely.
You do remove a lot of the range support players would have, or and a buffer too. You do that though.
Yeah, that's the point, right? Is make people have to actually build attack buffers to be attack buffers and not just get Luke third and have your attack buffer for your whole draft while also being a super high value AoE and single target DPS. I think most people aren't against some people are like, why? But aren't like that strongly against it. I think we should try banning her.
I just think she does
I
too much,
understand.
and she's been around for so long,
Mhm.
and not just she was a meta unit for so long. She was a meta Waifu Wars unit for so long.
Yeah.
She's had one of the best units for a very long time.
Yeah.
So I think it's just
She's only
Do
gotten
do her
better
again.
too because her cast is good. She's gotten a lot of really good troop additions since we started Waifu, whereas like she's just gotten stronger. So yeah. All right. So like I said, this was a pretty heavily downvoted suggestion, but some people wanted to allow Leon but not give him Mech Knights.
No.
Absolutely
No.
No,
not.
you still
No.
on some maps. I mean, obviously he has to be banned, but like in pick ban. But in some maps he becomes ridiculous,
It's
and
also
then
just
just
like,
with his 3C, just demolishes your team.
or like he even still
Yeah.
has like super valid like AoE loadout as like non-SP, right? Even if we're talking non-SP, he can still bring his super good command. He still has his super good cast, which is Shiv for his whole any
Yep.
cavalry heroes.
Yeah,
I think he still stays banned. I know some people want
I,
to see
Yeah.
him.
I
but
agree.
He's
Oh,
too powerful to be.
Even base form Leon just gets damage increase, so like his AoE is still good.
Yeah,
I played Leon on ladder last week, and he one shots Ymir, and I don't think any units that just one shot Ymir that easy should be in this.
he's also still a Hellcore user as well. Like that's another thing that's made him even more bannable for this format, is he is also a Hellcore user if he wants to be, especially if we're banning Mech Knights, that would just become his default troop. I think he just stays banned.
Yeah.
Don't allow you.
So
We're banning Mech really.
we want to have a
No,
discussion
The
on
question was about keeping Leon but banning Mech Knights.
yeah,
Not
at least
both.
for certain heroes like Leon. But
Yeah.
it was pretty
Okay.
heavily downvoted, and it doesn't seem like people today are any more in favor of it.
I'm trying to think of which units actually use Mech Knights.
Gerald
Well,
and Layla, Matthew.
Oh yeah, because Gerald and Layla, that's one of the ones that we should be concerned about, I guess.
So I want to talk about Lana. So for anybody not in the know, let's go over to Banner News. The stream hereby sponsored by Banner News, but not really, not officially. She gets a cast, and this cast is pretty good. It's a little bit more int, which is whatever, but the big thing is it gives her proper, Lucretia type range, and it gives her, when I say Lucretia, I just mean like generic +2 unit range. And it gives her auto buffing in the Ymir kind of way, where if she has existing buffs, it'll give her the buffs she doesn't already have, which is pretty strong. So we're not discussing banning Lana. She doesn't need to be banned because of that cast or anything. The discussion we need to have is if we want to allow people to play Lana as their captain for this upcoming
Hell
Waifu
no.
War season.
No.
Oh, no.
LOP, sure.
No, like
But
at
why?
that
is
point,
my
Let's-
you have
question.
to think. You have to think how you're gonna
Let's
ban
see
it
her
to
one
avoid
season.
Lana getting you one shot.
Let's
Like-
see her one season as the Lucretia replacement in the OP category. See how it goes, and then we can discuss this again next season, I think.
So like my thing is like you just banned Luke, so like you're down a proper long range mage, and 2, you can get all of those buffs for her anyways. So like
So the thing is, it makes the setup for a Lana Super Nuke a lot easier. Now you only really need a booster. Like you can get your Ashmar, you can get your Luna or whatever. Pick.
I
You
mean,
just
as
need a Mobu
captain,
buffer.
you guarantee one.
Yeah,
You literally just guarantee one, and then
yeah, exactly. As your captain, you just second pick a booster, and then she
And
brings her own damage
doesn't
buffs.
the auto buff? From what it read, it looked like they only apply when you actually hit somebody with stuff.
Yeah,
It's
so it's
before
It's
before.
before attacking. Before
So
attacking.
if you're targeting like 4 heroes and you have a faction buff, you're going to get a DI buff, you're going to get a DR buff, you're going to get a breeze, and you're going to
Gotcha.
get a regen buff. You're always going to get
yeah,
that.
I mean, there's a lot of units that can. Well, a number of units that can teleport. A number of units give Moby buff. As a captain, you can guarantee yourself something to get within range, and you don't even have to spend a turn buffing her. You don't have to do anything. The rest of your team could just all be a follow up
You
because you don't
ideally
need
want
anyone to actually do the buffing.
you ideally want
She
like
just nuke.
some form of buff so you have better RNG on your random buffs, but yeah, you could theoretically just get a +2 boost and go in.
Nikki's gonna love that nuke.
But I know that there's been like 5 or 6 people that have wanted to captain postcast Lana.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like you could if you're using someone, I don't know, just pick one of the teleporters.
So I mean,
like Irish, you're giving her a buff there. She's either getting the damage, or if you're using any of the Moby boosters, she can get movement buffs, or
yeah,
so she'll have buffs.
Like you have to ban Ashmar if it's Captain Lana. Ashmar cannot be allowed, right? She's both a command and she's a Moby boost, and now that she's self buffing, she's just going to one shot everything, right? So then you've also got something like Luna, you've also got something like Letitia, and then yeah, for point of discussion, we could also throw like Iris in there wherever she is.
Down there.
Like if you first pick this and then have these four things in the box,
you have
Melda. Like it does just seem like it gets a little too strong.
I mean, you can, like I said, with someone like that, you know how easy it would be. Infantry Toa gives her movement buff, gives her Mimir's hammer. I mean, all this stuff, the helmet skill, like it's too easy to stack buffs on her if she's your first pick.
There's too much to ban to prevent getting nuke.
And like that is a thing that she can already theoretically do, right? Let's be clear. That is theoretically a thing she can do now. Like Nikki played that exact box. The thing is, right now, Nikki doesn't always get all of the buffs he wants. He doesn't always get a King Crown. He doesn't always get an attack buff. You only really need to pick a Moby booster after the cast is what makes it problematic, because you really just need to get her in. The cast does a lot of the work in terms of boosting her.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
When to do the Lana nuke, like you used to have to get her all the buffs and have that. So pick ban wise, it was much harder to fall into that.
But as captain, right now, I think we all agreed already that it's just OP character and as look replacement, right?
I think that's
OP. The pick one or OP. I think pick one or.
I think OP.
I don't know if it's
just use as look replacement for now. See how it goes for a season.
I don't think she belongs in pick one.
I don't think she belongs in pick one either. The reason she's busted as a captain is specifically because you'd be getting her guaranteed first pick every game.
Yeah, I'm fine with her in OP. It's easier to ban.
Yeah. All right, next point of discussion, Tiaris. So the reason she's up for discussion is 2 reasons, right? She gets, during the Randall update, which is like not next week, but 5 weeks, or maybe 6. I think the Vargas update might be 5 weeks, but where's Tiaris? She gets both a cast and an SP. So we're definitely not going to allow her as an SP hero because her talent, long story short, starts to work against AoE damage. So she becomes like this ridiculous reactive healer, and that's just too strong for the format. The question is if she's still allowed with her cast and possibly with SP skills as base Tiaris, whose talent doesn't work on AoE.
I haven't read her SP skills.
So
are they good?
1C is like a copium single target Tiaris thing, like attacking thing. The 2C is the more problematic skill. It's a heal tile. So it basically gives you like a Rosen command where like you'll heal after taking action. And it's also just a pretty strong, like it's a 3x heal and it gives like a defense command. So the question is this effect too strong? It's also like a Hilda command.
Yeah, I think pick one's fine.
Yeah, I mean, are these skills alone any better than an act again or stuff that Elma can do.
Yeah, it's I think that pick one is pretty appropriate. I don't think she needs to go in like
So since her
band.
biggest improvements are her talent, you may as well just put her in pick one.
Yeah, the real difference, so her cast is pretty good, but I don't think it's going to massively change stuff for Waifu Wars. It makes all buffs she applies last an extra turn, so her 3C lasts longer.
I don't think that matters that much.
It's useful, it's just
Yeah.
not like a huge game changer. The real question is
It
just
just means you no longer need to run Juggler Plush or whatever.
yeah, the real question is just, do you guys think that this skill is she needs to go pick one or she can stay in the regular pool is really the question.
I think pick one.
Pick one.
Okay.
It's still a good skill.
It is a very good skill.
It's still a good cast.
It's a anti-Moby down, it's anti-fix damage, and it's a command, and it's healing. I think it's really strong enough to warrant pick one. Okay. So Ugami had a suggestion that was pretty well upvoted. We just didn't get to it this season, but he had a suggestion of, since we allow I don't have the Elwyn picture with the mustache in this tier list. I need to add it. But since we allow Elwyn, like SP Elwyn as a pick one DPS and regular Elwyn as a base, just regular male hero slot, do we want to do the same thing with Matt, where we allow SP Matt as a pick one and regular Matt as like a no SP class?
Are we banning Mech Knights on him?
Probably not, would be the thing. So do we want to allow that or not? Like, he would be, instead of one of these other heroes, you'd have SP Matt.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
That's the argument you can make, is the usual just ban them argument of, it doesn't, some people will say it does not matter what actual pick one people choose in this slot, it's going to get banned. And that is usually the case.
I personally think that he's fine as a pick one for his SP class.
As his SP
You're
class.
probably right.
Because it means you're not having to ban Grangel or having to ban Burn or having to ban Ashmar or whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's true.
He's not going to, AoE wise, I mean, he could do one thing and it's strong, but it's not, he's not heal blocking you that turn.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, unless he Swords Dance, which is then not as bad. But I mean, he's not silencing you. He's not carrying the debuffs that like getting AoE'd by Julian would do.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not going to obliterate you the way like what's his name, Vincent or Caroline just completely like makes your team stand there.
Yeah,
I just don't think you can react to it. I think.
Yeah, I'm fine with putting him there.
I think you're right.
I'll just have to get a second icon to put him up here. We can give him an Elwyn mustaches and throw them up here. Or we could get their actual SP icons, but why would we want it to be clear?
Can we give him like a different type of mustache?
I'll leave that to you, Raven. You're the expert.
Okay.
So it was a suggestion. It was pretty heavily downvoted, and I personally don't agree with it. But some people want to allow SP Landford as a pick one tank.
No, you can use him on ladder.
Yeah,
use him on ladder.
He's a perfectly viable ladder hero. I think he stays in no SP.
Yeah.
Class.
I mean, Christie is like the #1 tank on ladder right now.
Yeah, that's true. But the thing with
he's at least a waifu though.
Yeah, but Christy, I mean, there's a reason. Have you seen some of her skins? Come on.
It's also that Christie buffs one of the most Waifu War relevant factions, which is Princess. And she's just really accessible. The thing with Landford is he's not like, we have to allow this hero because people can't build tank push boxes otherwise, which is what Christie and Hilda and Landius are. Like, people cannot build, 90% of players cannot build a tank push box if these heroes weren't allowed, That's
the point of contention. We've already seen regular Landfords just survive way too much shit in this format.
He survived
I don't
a
want
lot
to
of
deal
phase, yeah, for sure. I think he's fine staying in no SP class.
Yep.
And also, yeah, the other thing is you would get people picking him as their pick one tank and then just using him as an extremely strong DPS. Because he can literally one-shot meta tanks. Like, he literally can tank bust completely fine against meta tanks. Like,
yeah, that's true. That's true. And then he brings yeah, when I built him, I didn't even build him as tank. I just built him as DPS, and
yeah, he's perfectly fine as that. Like, he has really good damage mods. I use him in PvE with like a Stinger and Overlord badge, and I did some tests, and I was like one-shotting LBs just out of curiosity. He was like consistently one-shotting LB.
Who made that suggestion? Can we ban them instead?
It was Loon. He's now a commish, so he's untouchable. So he just
I'd be
stays
fine with
away.
banning that.
All right, so Julian, he was in pick 1 this last season, which is usually the slot he's been occupying. Do we keep
Yes,
him there?
just keep him there.
I
Keep him
think
there.
that's
Doesn't
fine.
matter. It's the same point. It doesn't matter.
I think he should be banned, personally. I think he's way too strong and does way too much AoE damage, and then the 20% RNG he just wins is like, what do we do?
I think that with him,
think-
with more people being moved into the pick 1, I don't think he has nearly as much threat, or at least like
Yeah. Yeah, with
opening
Bernhard
action.
being out of there,
And
and
Luke,
with
you know,
and Luke and Patricia,
yeah.
I think he's fine in pick 1. Because like now you're not you're mostly not going to get like turn 1 by him.
I'm gonna move
You
these two
you have a chance to deal with him basically.
up in discussion. So a lot of people were very unhappy about fighting Team Luna this season, and I threw Letitia in there because it's like the exact same scenario where we've got a +2
I mean, she belongs
booster.
in OP.
Those are currently like both of these are currently allowed as captain. They didn't win or anything. Do we want to move these into OP just so they can't be captain because it's not very pleasant to fight a first pick +2 booster?
So this is the Mikey likes it hate stream, right? If you
Okay,
if you put that in OP, he's
compromise.
gonna just
Let's put Luna in OP and leave Letitia till someone manages to break her in the
Yeah,
number
I
hero
mean, like
pool.
Letitia is arguably
I
even
want to see
stronger.
someone win with her.
It's even stronger than Luna. But yeah, I think that Luna, most people did not
Yeah.
enjoy fighting Team Luna this season. They were very unhappy after fighting her.
I did a couple scrims with Letitia, and honestly, she was worse than Narm. Because like you end up fighting just 4 versus 5.
It is.
And if they actually bring like if they ban Pickwell, you're kind of screwed.
The issue
so
is that
there's
her,
ways to
her
fight
buff
Letitia.
makes a lot of units reach turn 1 very easily.
Yeah, it comes down a lot to pick 1, like or pick ban. I think that if we allow Letitia and somebody takes, nobody is so far taking Letitia, and I'm actually 90% sure it's because nobody wants to be the guy that's first picking Letitia, because they know it's try hard and sweaty.
Well, here's the
Oops.
thing. I think that if Mikey doesn't play this season because he's already mad with it, then we could just move her to OP. But otherwise, just keep her as available.
Lomber is playing Leticia Capitan, though.
I mean, that's not a lot official though. He's just doing that right now, right? You guys can do whatever you
Yeah,
want
but-
in the
Well,
off season.
nothing is official right now, but
You can do whatever you guys want in the off season. We literally had somebody show up with like an Ilya inbox, I think, in a scrim. Like these are not sanctioned matches. You guys
Okay,
can say
so
whatever you
in
want
OP,
in Discord.
OP is fine.
Luna
Or
OP
Luna. I think
Yeah.
Luna OP, and we just leave the Letitia problem for future.
Can we just ban
And-
Patricia right now?
and the
Like,
last three.
Hoffman, yeah.
Patricia? Yeah, Patricia.
Just
Let's
ban
just
them.
we know Patricia's going
Ban
to
the
ban.
last three.
I think people are fed up with Patricia, right? Like she keeps barely scraping by. We've been wanting to ban her for seasons, or at least I have. I think enough people have gotten burned by Patricia that she goes and banned now, right?
Yo,
yeah.
Don't touch
Yeah.
the stove; it's hot.
Ben Hoffman.
yeah,
Why
ban him.
Hoffman?
Yeah, ban him.
I think Hoffman is really strong after his cast.
Hoffman is really strong, especially
Or
once
not
he
after
got
cast,
his
after exclusive.
casting or
I mean,
whatever.
sorry, the exclusive.
exclusive. Yeah,
It's pretty properly strong in a rush box. I think that his debuffs are good, and the tank as a shield is useful, and then he just does a lot of damage. I think he's fine to throw him. I'm a Hoffman fan, but I think it's reasonable if we're banning Patty that we ban
Ben
Hoffman
Hoffman.
for similar reasons. Kyra. So Kyra is a messy one, right? Because this format's always had a problem with AoE ending up really strong against the people that don't have 10 off healers built.
Yeah, I
Kyra-
don't think you can reasonably ban him.
Yeah, so the discussion
I
here
don't-
is,
I would still
you
really
can put
want
her
to
in
ban
OP.
her.
is she's a really
Yeah.
meta centralizing assassin while also being really important as a healer. And she's
Yeah.
strong as an assassin and she's strong as a healer, but she does probably overall help tank push more than she helps rush, I think.
From my experience, when I try to build boxes, not like sweaty boxes, and I'm facing someone that's using AoE, it is very difficult not like including her.
Mhm.
It just makes the pick ban really
Yeah.
scary.
You,
Because
you need to use her. You want to survive AoE. If you are in some form of slow player because she's the only reactive healing we have.
The other argument that is to be made is the fact that she's not available for significant participants in the tournament, myself included.
Issue.
I mean, that's a bad argument,
Okay,
though. Just
all right.
like, are we
Can
going to
we-
do the same with Albedo? Like, there's
the
so
thing
many
is, it's
units.
just that Kyra is a very important hero, right, in a lot of boxes. Versus there are
That's cool.
there's no
Fanning.
real
Others are better than
substitute for
Fanning.
Kyra. Where
All
there
right,
are
Osmo, how many
substitutes.
subs is it going to take for you to change your mind, though?
See, I don't care that much. I'm fine with leaving her. I'm fine with banning her. You don't
So
have to
one,
bribe me.
just one.
Generally
Just
want
one
to
is
ban.
fine, Raven.
I
Just
think
one.
pick one makes the most sense.
I think OP
mean-
is fine.
Pick one is fine. I
So
guess.
she's in
fine.
OP
He
right
isn't
now.
fine.
I'm fine with either result. Do we want to take a vote or do we just want to leave her? in
Pick
OP?
one or ban for me. Like, I don't think she fits into OP anymore. She's just too meta defining at this point.
Yeah, but she's meta defining for a reason, because the other way she's the only anti-meta that exists against the mostly AoE
Pick
meta.
3 to
Well,
5
the AoE is
heroes
getting hit pretty
ban
hard
in
this
regard
season.
to it, just to make her bannable. But
Oh,
the
you
way
guys
it
are
is right
voting.
now, it's like,
We can make it pick one. I don't know.
We could try it. Again. You guys have to let us know how things go when you scrim this week.
Because we are getting rid of Burn, we are getting rid of Patricia. You're going to have a lot of you're going to be able to get rid of Caroline in the ban pick because you don't have to worry about the other ones.
Yeah, I think the ban
So.
pressure is lower. We should probably still. That's honestly, in my opinion, an argument to keep her in OP rather than pick one. But I mean, I guess it's fine either way. I guess pick one is helping to weaken her, which, yeah.
I mean, if you put her in pick one, Edgar's probably winning this season with MK.
I don't think we're gonna allow.
Dude, I ain't playing MK. I was only doing that to try to get my way with EA. If they let
I
me
would
play
still
MK, she shot.
Epsilon down of the pick one.
I
I don't think Epsilon belongs in the pick one category.
I agree with that too. I mean, you basically soft ban Pepsi if you put him in pick one because he's just not going to.
If you put him in pick one
Which
with
is also-
Kyra also being there, I think you do soft ban him. Yeah, because Kyra is, I think,
Just
mostly
put him in the
better
normal
than
hero
Pepsi.
pool. He isn't that strong. He usually was a third pick or fourth pick when in normal meta. He was rarely a second pick.
Well, let's throw him down for now. So we're gonna get into some
I
of
think
the.
that's fun.
Let's talk about since we've gotten through the heroes and like the discussion here. There are a few heroes that we should discuss, especially men, but also probably a couple female waifus that we should discuss on whether they should stay in the waifu pool or move up to discussion. Luna and Letitia were just kind of the ones that were brought up, but like MK has traditionally been one of those ever since she won like season 2. She's one of those ones that I think we kept her in OP for longer than just the season after she won, right?
I just think no one wants to use her as captain. Otherwise, they would have a pretty decent job time winning. She's very
I did 6 scrims with her, and I won every single game, and none
She's
of them
very
went.
strong.
She's a very good hero to have as the captain. The MK Voltron is real.
Yeah.
So I think MK we can probably throw up into non-captainable female, which is what the OP category basically is non-captainable females.
Mariando, please, too.
Yeah,
Why?
I think
I agree.
I think Mary should be there too. That she was not supposed to be in the pool last season. We just took like an old version when we created the base.
She is way too strong to be
Iris, too, please.
out of OP.
Yeah, I think Iris is. She used to be an OP.
Did Iris get a casting or some shit?
She does have a good casting, but
Yes.
she's also just strong.
Okay.
Just
Well, I think one of the problems was that we used to have standards here. I know
Yeah.
Team Moo winning means that Iris is fair game. So yeah, move her there. Because back in the day, this wasn't ever a question.
Yeah, so I mean, these
Just
two were
saying.
these two were traditionally here because of lowly status, but also just because they're strong. But she's also just too strong, even if we are allowing stuff like Moo.
Yeah.
Not that I'm saying allowing stuff like Moo is great, but I am glad that they beat Meow. That's my main takeaway. I'm glad,
I'm
glad
happy
Meow
about it.
lost. I'm glad Meow got swept at that.
I'm honestly happy about that too. It was fun.
Oh yeah, Moo doesn't need to
Are
move.
we
with that,
allowing?
that's
Are we
true.
allowing Narm still? I mean, isn't Narm still like kind of the same? It's like similar to Luna.
Nah, Narm is okay.
Yeah.
Is Mew really so good to be up there? That's crazy.
We always move the winner of the previous season up
Yeah,
to be
it's
for the next
ridiculous.
season. Just for the crown, you know. They're up there for the season after they win.
I guess she does provide stats and stuff. I don't know.
She's not a bad
she's
captain.
She's very situational. You could end up on lava map every game.
Yeah. But just for she's not going to probably stay there next season, is what I'll say.
She beat me. It's all that matters.
So I think that the only
That's
other
fair,
one I've heard some complaints about was like Michelle captain. It's particularly with wings.
Why?
She's pretty strong. Do we just want to leave her in the captain pool, or do we want to really restrict wings, or do we just leave her where she is and she's fine?
I think she's fine. Like, most of my games that I won with her were because people let me pick Patricia.
I think she's fine as long as Will isn't playing her with like 17,000 defense.
Yeah.
That was fun, the Will games. Oh, they were fun.
I mean, I could definitely see her being too strong. Anyone that can launch AoEs from the other side of the map is always a problem.
Yeah, I think
she can't do it till turn 2, though.
I think we need to open up a discussion for Michelle and also probably for dudes on allowed but not with wings like category, you know? Because I think Michelle could be argued to go up there. Maybe Elaine could be argued to go up there, although we don't need Mikey to hate us even more. But
I mean, why
I don't
not?
think Elaine cares. Is she?
Make all his complaints in one season, and he won't complain as much the next seasons.
I'm trying to think about if there's any other women that were like too strong with wings. I don't think so. Precia's the other like huge wings user, but wings just make her a viable hero instead of making her ridiculous. She's not like a viable. She has like Yulia reach without them, so she kind of needs them to be a hero.
I mean, we generally allow wings for even the OP ones nowadays, right? So
that's it used to be that heroes in OP weren't allowed wings, and like Michelle and Elaine, I think, were the two that were in there for like the season that we had the separate category. Was those two. But then we also want to get into men. So right now, this is the male waifu pool that we kind of just put together like really bad units, and then a couple of the ones that were requested, like that people wanted, and we're like, yeah, that seems fine, which was Grenier and where's Joshua?
Ainz.
And Ainz, yeah, but I mean, Ainz was bad enough that he was in there already. So I think we should probably talk about what other guys are fine to allow being a more inclusive tournament than we used to be.
I want to do Captain Gory once, so put him in there.
Gory?
I want you to captain him once, so put him in there.
So wait, what does Laird do that he's not allowed?
Oh, his 3C can really mess things up.
You mean 1K hooves because he doesn't have a 3C?
Laird. Oh, I was thinking Merrick right now. I was thinking Merrick.
Oh no. Laird is fine. He's probably just in there by mistake.
Put Vargas up there.
Which one?
Like base Vargas? That's tough because like he's
Vargas.
really good.
No, how about absolutely no?
Like
as captain?
Like I think that first picking a tank with 3 revives is kind of ridiculous, even if he's only guarding.
Yeah, if you go up against a single target opponent in playoffs, like that's an insane advantage.
Yeah, I think
he has no magic guard, right? You have to always first pick a no magic guard first pick.
But if they're first picking a physical DPS, then that's fine. I think it is too strong of a captain. Like it is really just captain matchup shenanigans. I think he should.
We can allow Albedo as captain, but not Vargas. Like
Albedo doesn't revive 3 times.
Albedo also doesn't punch you in the face really hard.
That is also true.
Yeah. Vargas can do that.
Vargas with divine.
I mean, if we're allowing Hellcores, Albedo actually might do some damage.
Maybe. I don't think it's going to be the same. Vargas also has Hellcores, FYI, so it's not going to be any better, any more of an improvement for her than it is for Vargas. Oops, back to tier list. Okay, I think he should stay down here too. I think Shinpachi is too strong of a captain, honestly. I know he's like a funny
Definitely.
meme hero, but he is genuinely good. Jugler's too strong. Alti,
Alt
No,
is too strong.
don't allow Alter as
No.
captain.
I think his faction buff is really good if you had him as a captain to be able to always get Terrain Master for a bunch of heroes.
Yeah.
Viler, I think.
Sure, if somebody
No.
wants to play Wyler, that's what is he gonna do?
No, I don't think you should allow Wilder, to be honest.
Why not?
Because, well, for
Text
once, he has
again
the
for
rewind
Angelica
skill.
memes.
He has his 3C that permits to survive any type of ST. Like you're an ST captain and you
So
fight
it
a
doesn't
Wheeler
let you
captain.
always. It lets you not have less than full HP. It doesn't mean you don't get one shot. You know.
Still, still as a ST captain, you're gonna struggle against Wilder.
I mean, you just AoE him after he 3Cs, and then his reactive heal becomes shit once he's dead.
Can we put Yusuke in there?
I think we are. I think
no.
we are putting Yusuke, and I think we're probably going to put Hiei and Toku up there too.
Yusuke should be
No, not
fine.
really.
I did
Yusuke's
3
fine.
scrims
I
with
don't know
Yusuke,
about
and I
Hiei.
lost every fucking game by a mile.
Yeah,
He
I
can't
don't.
Yeah.
do shit.
I don't think Yusuke's that strong of a captain. I honestly also don't think Hiei is that strong of a captain, to be honest. I haven't actually had that many problems with Hiei. He's funny, but if you know what he
He's
does, you can definitely play against
crazy.
him.
He's good against a couple characters, but he misses kills on most things.
He misses kills on a lot
I
of
couldn't
stuff.
kill Jared and Layla. I missed on fucking Rachel.
Yeah.
And those were
You guys
all
have
I
fun.
missed
I gotta
on
get
Rachel
going.
with Freya.
I'll talk it later.
All right, see ya.
Later.
We'll come back to Hiei in a second, but so Yusuke can go up there. Let's keep going.
Yusuke kills.
Yusuke is a 2-turn setup hero to have 1 attack skill.
Ares, no chance.
Ares, no chance. Otto, no chance.
Yeah.
Otto is really strong
Also,
after his cast, honestly. He's
yeah.
really frustrating to play against. I almost want to put him up to pick one, but I don't think he's quite up there, but he's really annoying to fight.
I think Yusuke is really strong there.
I don't think he's that ridiculous. Bozo, I
He's
think, is
hard
too
to kill
strong.
because of Last Rites, Glory of the World.
He has 1 attack skill, and then he's out of juice. That's it.
He just basically takes things dead.
To be honest, I was in one of those scrims against Yusuke, and it did not went well for him.
Right? Like, I don't think he's that good in practice. I think there's a lot you can do
I
against him.
played against Taos Yusuke, and it wasn't pleasant.
It really depends on if you come up. You have to have a plan to deal with him before you get down to a 1v1. But I think if you do, he's not bad.
My plan was Epsi with shield surviving him. It didn't happen.
Man, I had no plan, and he couldn't punch through me. So
Bozo stays restricted.
Yeah.
He's too strong of a captain. Like properly tanky Bozo is a
Yusuke
big
is-
threat. Egbert,
Definitely not Egbert.
I think Egbert
No,
is
don't
actually a
allow
genuinely
Egbert.
strong AoE rush hero. So
yeah, don't allow Egbert.
Emmerich, I think, would be fine as a captain. He's a funny meme and he does useful things, but I don't think he's too strong of a captain. He can't attack himself. His damage is really, really bad. He's just
Especially with his faction buffers restricted. So yeah,
enable
no,
someone else. So I
Emmerich
think
is fine.
Emmerich is fine.
Yep.
Hein, so like SP Hein, I guess
No.
specifically.
No.
I don't
Yeah.
think we allow.
No.
He can have 2 teleports, which is itself pretty strong, as well as being a pretty good DPS. Crimzo, I think, is probably too strong to be captain.
Yeah, no, Crimson. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got 2 lives.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Lewin, I think, is
11
probably
no too.
is too strong, especially if this category would be potentially allowing wings. We're not allowing wings Lewin. Oliver.
Oh, you're not. What a shame.
Allow
Oliver-
Crimzo, please.
I think Oliver is fine. I don't
I
think
think-
Oliver is that strong.
Yeah, he's low range, even if he's high damage. Omega, we're not allowing as captain.
Yeah, no chance.
Rainforest.
I'd count it,
Not
but
getting Omega Captain. Oh, what a shame.
Rainforest does have an infantry class, right? Is Rainforest with BB wings kind of a thing?
would
His unique. No. Wings makes no sense when he needs to stack up his skills. His unique is Apex Boots.
Yeah, I don't know. Do we want to
His
allow
unique is-
Rainforest as a captain or no? I think
Nah.
It would
we haven't
be
seen. I'm
interesting.
not sure if we've actually seen a single Rainforest in Waifu Wars. I think it would be interesting. If
I
nothing
think
else.
it's fine. Yeah, we could try it.
I think
If somebody
great.
does it
Mhm.
and it's too good, we can always ban it next season.
Yeah.
I mean,
A lot
it's
of people
only
have
with
them
tank
10
push.
cast.
A lot of people have him 5 cast, I'm sure, from DE, but I don't know how many people would have him 10 cast. There's never been a DE with 10 casting out, I don't think so. I think Ricky is too strong to be a captain.
Yes,
I agree.
definitely.
I know like nobody in this tournament plays Ricky, but Ricky's not a bad hero at all.
Yeah,
Why
same with,
isn't Luca playing him actually?
I don't know. Probably because he's doing a lot of princess stuff, and Ricky's when he's doing like a ELS block, I'm sure he'd run Ricky. Sage is also too strong. I agree with that, Zuko. I think SP Sigma's not a bad hero. I don't think he should be allowed as captain.
I
Way too
agree.
much range.
Yeah, he's a really good trade DPS, and he's a pretty good assassin. Transcender, waifu, right? I think we allow that. He's been allowed in the past
we
as
have
waifu.
we
I
have
think
to give it the
Simply
call.
the waifu of Kong. Only Kong can use Transcender. It's that simple.
It was already his waifu once.
Yeah, like I don't think he was ridiculous or anything. I think he's fine. Varash, I think, is fine. He might have an infantry class to run wings, but I don't think he would still be.
He has an aquatic class that can run wings.
Oh, that's true. I don't
I
still don't
don't
think he'd
even-
be. I don't think he'd still be a
Yeah.
very good hero.
I think he's bad enough where you can just leave him where or like put him. You could put him in.
Yeah,
I am honestly afraid of him. I'm honestly afraid of him, I have to say.
Not gonna lie, yeah, I'm too.
This thing can clean up teams by itself because it just never dies.
Can it though? Can he actually
Really?
do enough damage?
Yes,
Who-
yes, he can.
Who even has him built at this point?
It's probably
Stao,
like
I think.
Moon end of list, you know?
Now Stao, I think.
No, okay.
I think it's fine to allow him. Also, we've cut
I'm
a lot
afraid
of
of him.
dudes.
I'm seriously afraid of him.
Also, we've cut a lot of dudes from this pool. Should we consider making this like 4? Because like, I guess let's finish going through who we want to move to captain pool first. Werner, no, we're not allowing Werner
No.
regular Werner as
Okay.
captain. Leobeck, he's a Shoto, which is
No.
gross, but also I think he's a pretty strong long range mage.
Yeah.
He is quite strong.
Yeah,
Theon
he's
is too strong.
Theon, you should ban. I hate
Yeah.
Theon.
I think he's a menace to society, but I don't think he needs to be banned. I just hate him, and I will
Pick
ban him
one.
myself.
So you
I just
pick
don't think he
one.
needs to be banned from the tournament. I think Amadeus is fine as a captain, yeah.
People still use Theon on ladder. It's just like 1 or 2 people.
Yeah,
but
I mean it's like just mob, but Theon is
It's
not
mob.
a
It's
bad
mob
hero.
and mob.
Roland captain seems fine.
No,
No?
his range is insane.
So the main thing Roland does is he's a pretty subpar single target unit, but the main utility he has, right, is his exclusive gives 2-tile move again while you're in range mode. So he becomes like a hit and run AoE unit just without a lot of sustain. He has to like cycle twice before you can AoE again.
yeah, ban him or not ban him.
Keep
leave
him
him
not-
leave him down there. Yeah.
Don't give Biden bid Roland as captain. Simple as that.
Captain Mac,
doesn't
I don't think we
deserve
should
it.
allow as captain. He's a genuinely good enabler.
I mean,
Yep.
Yeah, no,
same
he's
reason
not
as
allowed.
Biden bid with Roland. Mac with me, I get it.
Like I
Don't
think
give me
Mac
as
is as good of a captain as Narm and arguably stronger than Narm because 4-turn buff and he can put down multiple tiles in a game can be really strong.
Narm has more damage, but I get what you mean.
Leonhard is way too strong to be captain.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
no.
I think
Oliver is
Olivier.
also
I think
strong.
Olivier is too.
Yeah,
Too strong.
Olivia
Honestly,
is-
I would
Oliver
argue.
is
I would
the
argue that
AoE
since
Narm.
you banned Lucretia, you should ban the Leonhardt because there's really not much that's going to be able to deal with him just popping in and.
Ban Leonhard is actually something I agree with. This thing is just too disgusting, too restricted.
Because
Put him
like
in
if
big
you,
one,
get him,
please.
if you don't get a good long range mage against him and you can't hit him before he gets into you, you're just dead.
I disagree.
That's
There's
true.
still T-Jeffs. There's still.
There are
Tormilk.
there are
a lot
plenty of other long range
mages.
mages. Like there's Tormilk, there's T-Just, there's Kaguya, there's Gitz. Like there are plenty of options. It's just people need to diversify away from Luke. You can hit him with Azusa. Like I don't think he needs to be banned.
So the problem is not all of not everybody has those units built.
That
Those
shouldn't
are
be
very-
Then
an issue.
build them. That's the point of Waifu Wars, to spend all your gold on useless stuff.
I think that he's not that. He's tanky, but he's not impossible to kill with Fizz either or anything.
He's quite tanky.
At least pick one DPS.
No.
I don't think
Just
he's.
ban him. He's
Ah,
toxic. Just ban him.
I don't think he's that toxic. So the problem is, like, if you run Bracer on him to make him really tanky, I don't know if you guys have like watched like the Bracer Leonhardt games. He doesn't do damage. He just does debuffs. He does not do any damage with Bracer BB.
Yeah, I agree with not banning him, because there's counterplay against him. He's not impossible to defeat like some other characters.
There isn't much though.
I think he's okay where he is.
Yeah, like he's restricted, but as a captain, no, don't allow him as a captain.
Definitely not as captain. No, that's unheard of. Reen, same deal. I think there is
Yeah,
counterplay to Reen. Reen has not
Don't
been
allow
that
Reen.
impressive in Waifu Wars. I'm gonna be honest.
I mean,
Let's
Reen's
Captain
fine.
Reen. Let's Captain Reen.
I think Rio as a captain is probably fine. Rio is not a good hero in PvP. Right? I don't
Poor
think
tank
anybody.
pushers.
I don't think anybody's
He-
disagreeing with me there that Rio is not a good hero in PvP.
He's OP if he hits you.
He's OP if he hits you, but he's waddling up at 3 moves.
Wait, are we allowing wings on those units? Rio might actually be able to hit something with wings.
Rio with infantry
Yeah.
wings might be a hero. It might actually be.
Actually, can we not allow Rio with wings? Maybe. I mean, I don't care really because I don't tank push this much, but I think others might bother about this.
I
Yeah,
think
don't
it'd be
Rio
funny
with
to
wings
allow.
should
I
be
think it'd be
allowed.
funny because it would allow Rio to actually be a usable hero in this format, which right now he's not because he's 4 attack
It's
range,
gory. It's
5
gory, basically.
like 5 with wings, or 5 with apex boots. I think maybe we just allow it and see what happens. And it could just be funny.
Okay.
It's still not that good range, right? He's going to be 8 attack range with wings fully charged. Sorry, 7 attack range with wings fully. He doesn't have a 2 range skill, does he? I guess he has air slash, but that's what you care about is his 3C. Tokyo, I
He's
think is
also
fine
really
as
tanky
captain.
though. Like, don't forget this. This thing is tanky too.
Toguro's fine.
Like Tokyo has a revive, but he's got cab movement even in his demon class, and his demon class is his better class. Like Tokyo's fine.
Basically,
Wait,
once he hits
is he
something,
11?
he's pretty bad afterwards. So
Is he 11 move with the demon class
Togu,
and boots?
pretty sure he's just 8 move.
I think he's just a 3 move act again. It's not like a full act again.
5. I mean, 11 threat range with boots. 6, 3, 2. It's basically a
one-
Kaguya.
I mean, I don't think he's that good. I think he's fine.
Yeah, I think he's fine.
He's very killable. He's stuck with cav movement no matter what you do. Like, I don't think he's a very good captain. He's like unusable on lava map and
It's a
most
Kyre's
of the water
Rife.
maps.
Honestly, it's not bad.
I don't know. I don't think he's great. Wataru, is he fine to allow waifu, you guys think? I mean,
No,
again, he's a little
don't allow
boy, which is
Wataru.
not wonderful.
No, don't
we
allow
are,
Wataru.
we are not the
Don't
Catholic
allow
Church
him.
here. Yeah, I don't think he's not a terribly and he's not great, but I don't think he needs to be allowed as captain. Zelgadis, I think, is too strong as captain. He's a perfectly good self-buffing magic damage unit.
I mean, Zelgadis, I wouldn't mind.
I mean, I guess it depends on
Let's be
how.
honest.
Like, if we're not allowing like ulti, I don't think like Zelgadis is necessarily worse than ulti.
Altis better than
Isn't-
Zelgadis,
I
for
mean,
sure.
Ulta's better for sure because, like, if you get a breeze, I mean, you need a breeze, but if you go in, Ult can like kill 2 people. Zelgadis goes in, kills 1 person, and dies.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
Maybe
kills
maybe
Gitz is allowed
sometimes
as
happens.
Waifu.
maybe people don't. I don't know.
Zelgadis better than Gitz.
I think Zelgadis is pretty strong. As somebody who used him on ladder and up and through Andy release, I thought he was a pretty strong hero, but maybe not everybody thinks that way. I guess I personally, as somebody who's used him, I don't think we should allow him as waifu. He's a
That's
self-buffing
fine.
DPS that can give stun immunity, which is itself quite strong. Lavina, we're definitely not allowing in waifu pools.
Yeah, no.
Pepsi, Vargas, we already said no. Hiei, we just need to debate. Do we want to allow it or not?
No.
I don't have an opinion on that one.
As
I'm not sure how good he is.
as a tank pusher, I haven't really found Hiei problematic. He's more scary as a trade DPS than as an actual assassin, I think. So I think it's honestly more up to the trade people's opinions.
He usually fails kills, but that's
Against
only
tanky
because
tank
you're
push stuff,
out
he
tank.
definitely can fail kills, especially if they run boots.
Yeah, but if I were a rusher, he would be a pretty good zoner against Ross.
Yeah, so he's 11 blocks turn 1, I think, with boots.
Okay.
12, I think.
Because it's 4 plus 5 plus 2.
Yeah.
But he kills like half of his troops in the process, so he just relies on backstab to get any kills. And he also gets counter killed by half of the stuff he tries to attack. I don't think he's that good, personally.
He's darn annoying.
I don't know. We're not getting really loud opinions on this, so
I think you should just keep him in restricted. Like if you allow him, Rush is gonna have a very bad time against him. Or dare I
The
say,
point is, we don't want him as an additional mail to the strong mails already. I think.
I was gonna say, I do think that we've cut this down a lot. Do we want to make this 4 instead of 5, or is that just gonna make people have mistakes with their boxes and have to do replays?
No, 4 is fine.
Because we moved a fair amount of stuff out of here. I think everything from layered on and gory actually on, we moved there.
I think 4 is fine too.
Look, this may be controversial, but as long as they read what's in the tier list, I think we should be fine.
Yeah, it's just people don't historically actually read the rules. I think this is pretty well known.
But there's the issue. If they fail to get the rules correctly two times, then
they
get they lose a game.
You have all the others you have unrestricted.
Yeah, so none of these guys, so like Zuko, none of these guys count towards the limit at all. Like these are all completely free. The male waifu. You can box as many of these as you want. It's just these that are restricted right now.
You can effortlessly make a full mailbox nowadays. Effortlessly. It won't
Just
even be that bad.
Win. Just don't expect.
And I think the idea is also, I think that nothing in this group looks super problematic with wings.
B-Rush will soon become problematic.
I agree.
So
Amadeus is slightly scary, but he doesn't have wings anyway.
Yeah, Amadeus doesn't get anything extra. He just is a first pick. Amadeus would be what that allows. And
Wings are really fun against tank push.
Wings Rio.
I'm waiting till he just nukes you once.
So the thing with that is you have to play infantry Rio then, right? Which means any horse tank, no. Goodbye, tank buster. Because like you want to play as holy class for tank busting, you know. Normally, I don't think he's super problematic. Yeah, Rio also has terrible troops.
If for some odd reason somebody does pick him, and he does real well, then you can ban him.
Yeah, I don't think.
I think it's fine to try him there.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It's not
it's completely fine.
His extra life is reactive, so.
Yeah, I don't think there's any others in here that were like sus with wings. Rainforest, we decided because his EE is accessory, it's not that big of a boost, I guess. I think the rest are all fine with wings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there anything in the currently banned section that we wanted to discuss? I think there was a suggestion. Somebody asked about McLean. I know most people in this format don't want to have to deal with McLean being allowed because he's toxic.
No.
I mean, it would be fun.
As like a pick one.
It would be fun, and I can finally pull out my McLean again after her so many years. But
I don't think Kasumi comes this Waifu Wars season, Moon. Otherwise, she would be up for discussion. I don't think she's realistically in time. It's Vargas update,
He
which is
would-
coming soon. It'll probably be about the start of.
You can put McLean in a pick one if you absolutely have to have him.
Yeah, so that's what it would be. Is if somebody's really, really, really wants McLean to be allowed, we would put him in pick one, and that would be like there's no other category he would possibly be allowed into.
Big one, please. Big one, please.
Do people want that? Like, I guess it sounds like some people do.
Use it too.
Yeah,
If
I
I
do.
cannot get
probably-
Kirika back, I want McLean in the
Put him in pick one.
big one.
Like
Okay.
it doesn't really matter because it's pick one. In all honesty.
Yeah, like if we're allowing Shell, I think we can allow McLean. Like it's just arbitrarily. Some people really want to be able to play these heroes because they. I mean, McLean was ladder or meta. Shell wasn't, but McLean is definitely not ladder meta anymore. So
Bring Kirika back too.
No,
I do not want to
Okay,
fight
calm
Kirika in
down,
this
Satan.
format again.
Calm down, Satan.
Like I don't honestly mind not banning a lot of these heroes in the pick one as it is. Kirika is just toxic to play against. It's awful to play against her.
Like you can put Enya in the pick one and be fine.
Nah, I think that's a little bit different. Because Enya is then if literally you always have to ban, you know?
I mean, technically, we can put anybody from this bottom slot in the pick one and be fine, just because it'd be like click.
It's basically a free ban, basically. It's a free ban.
But yeah, I'm trying to look if there's anybody else that I think people have made arguments to be allowed. So yeah, we removed Kruger this past season because we were hoping that because the
Why
changes
is
last
Mirish in
season.
bands? Oh, this is Archon Red. Never mind.
Yeah, this is Archon. So the thing with Kruger is we reduced the healers down to pick one last season, and that's why we banned Kruger because we wanted to try that as like a weakening AoE thing. Do we want to allow him back in since we've cut a lot of strong AoE stuff or moved it into pick one this season?
The big
here
one
for
healers,
again. I
they're
want
still
to
the
use
big
it.
one. So
I
there's
don't
not
think
that
he
much
belongs to
dispelling.
pick one. But yeah.
I don't mean as like a pick one. I mean like Kruger in the pool. I don't think he would fit into pick one.
I think he's fine as long as the staff is still banned.
The staff stays banned forever.
Yeah, Vile Weaver has
Yeah,
to
we
never be
should-
allowed in this format again. It was stupid to allow it even for the Boon season. It's just
Wings is already Wings is already controversial. We don't need more controversial items on the.
I was gonna say also, just to be clear, I don't think we're really changing aside from allowing like wings on dudes, we're not really changing any of the battle pass gear restrictions. All of the gear from the butterfly update onward is still banned. I think that's not like a contentious thing. I don't think most people are.
That should stay that way forever. Yes.
Yeah,
It's just
I don't think we want to
easier
allow
to
the whale gear.
obtain, easier to play for everyone.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll do like a vote on Kruger on what people think.
I will be honest. He is fucking disgusting. and
Mapbot
I
is
would
actually
use him.
mandatory, Raven, in the rules release that I did. I specifically said you must use Mapbot. Part of the reason is actually you can't see if somebody used the game's random map feature. So if somebody invites you to a BO3, you have no idea if they actually clicked random map or if they just picked a random map. So I think
Man,
using
I'm
Mapbot is
getting
still the
lava
best.
maps so often in the random button, isn't it?
Yeah, or,
Facing
oh,
lava
I'm
map.
fighting Team Lusty and I got Outpass. Huh. You know, it's just keep using Mapbot.
Okay.
You guys will enjoy the usual lava flavored Mapbot rolls. Lava and Sky, its favorite.
lava map, just 3 games in a row, no problem.
But yeah, so keep using Mapbot.
I'd argue that it's not any better than the actual map generator usually, but
But yeah, so that is already in the rules for this season, is to keep using Mapbot. It also, as a streamer, it's helpful because then I know you guys are actually starting if you roll your map.
Hey, can I ask a question? Why Epsilon is still on restricted man instead of pick one?
That's what people thought seemed appropriate. I think because we moved Kyra into pick one DPS, I think it's pretty appropriate to move Pepsi out. We can't have like 2 of the really major Sins in there without giving them anything extra, and we didn't really do anything else to help Sin play style.
I don't think Pepsi's any better than. There's a lot of units in that category that are way better than Pepsi.
Yeah. Like he was just there because things were skewed pretty heavily in favor of Sins. So we just did that, just reduce the number of strong Sins. And so I think doing a 1-for-1 swap of Kyra for Pepsi and pick one is fine.
Oh, okay. I need to buy his unique now.
Technically, you guys could actually. I was gonna say you could run Wings Pepsi, but we didn't put him in that section, so you cannot run Wings Pepsi.
Yeah, he's not. You can't put him in the captain.
No, he should not be captain by any means.
No, and even not being captain, like I don't think we're trying to allow wings for any of these dudes, even outside of captain discussion. I think most of these dudes that can wear wings would get a little crazy with them.
Yeah.
Like Lewin, Reen.
We're already
Leonhardt,
pushing it too far.
Yeah, I don't think we're allowing wings for any of these dudes, anyways. Or auto, yeah. So
Water with wings, God no.
Yeah, that would just be awful. That would be so toxic. Yeah, the booster being combined definitely reduces the ban pressure. The booster being merged in. Okay, so basically just imagine that not these two are also in pick one. I think that this pick one list is fine. I don't think Akka didn't get drafted at all because people just kept boxing Patricia as their booster. It was almost all Patricia and then 1 or 2 Hoffmans, 1 or 2 IBCs last season.
Yep.
So I think we'll hopefully see slightly more diverse picks there. I don't think we can move Akka into regular pool though. I think she's too strong.
I wouldn't mind that. Nah.
Yeah,
she's right where she belongs.
I think she
if we're removing the
she
booster
can't be allowed in the regular pool. Yeah. Okay. Then I think that this will be it. So I think what we'll do is we'll release this to people to play with. Tell them play a bunch of scrims.
Delete the pick one.
Yeah, I'll get rid of that when I do an actual release. I need to add the Elwyn and I need to get Raven to add a Matthew mustache, right? So when I do the actual release, I'll remove this and stuff. And then we'll set a date later next week, probably not Monday, maybe Thursday or Friday or something. Tell people to please try out stuff that's contentious, like Burn, like Vincent, like Pepsi and regular slots. Try to make toxic boxes and see how toxic they get. Be meow for once.
Daily.
Yeah. As far as the whole stream toxicity thing, yeah, we had a little bit of beef in Discord the other day. I don't know. We'll just see. Let me know if I get toxic, I guess. I don't know. Some people didn't appreciate the way that I direct my commentary when I'm watching games. Because
it's the way it should be. When people do shit, call out the shit.
Yeah, they were mad because I'm not trying to understand why they did what they did. I just complained that they didn't do what I think was right. But I think it's better content when I get angry, right?
I mean, I think that's fine.
Yeah,
your opinion is your opinion, and you're the one doing the stuff.
And your opinion sucks.
Just let me know if it gets out of hand, people.
I like it. It tells me I fucked up.
Heat it up more.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything in the Waifu category we still need to ban? I'm just thinking.
Yeah, are any of these too strong? I think we could decide if Michelle is fine.
I'm looking at Himiko.
Himiko was kind of toxic. They did do pretty well. I just don't like fighting Himiko. I don't know if she's necessarily too strong, but she is a child and she's kind of annoying. I don't know.
I mean, whoever captains her will have the brand of shame.
Where is she?
I'm fine with moving her somewhere. I don't care either way.
Pick one is just soft banning her.
Not pick one, but OP just so she can't be captain would be the argument.
She's second to last row. Middle.
Yeah,
Thank you, Iman.
I think you should. I think you should put her in OP. It's miserable trying to fight her. You don't have any options to actually fight her.
It's pretty RNG heavy when you're fighting her. I do think. I think she's fine in pick one. Or not pick one, OP. Not in sorry, Mikey. I just said the ER is Raven. She's fine in OP. I think the healer list looks fine for pick one. I don't think we're trying to change this to pick 2 healer. I think pick 2 healer gets too toxic.
It sure does.
I think pick 1 healer is right, and it's just about neutering the AoE a little bit, which we tried to do here. Pick 2 healers just gets toxic. So pick 1 I think is fine. This list of
But
heroes
in
is
regards
fine.
to neutering AoE, I still think just banning Leonhardt would keep neutering AoE a
Yeah,
little
do
bit
we want to
more.
have a discussion on Sonya? Some people would like to be able to like captain her. I think she's too strong as captain.
No.
I think she's too
Mhm.
strong as captain.
I think
With
strong
her
as
being
captain.
able to mark from across the map, yeah, no.
I
not
think
only
she's
that,
I think she
at the
deserves to be in pick 2
uncontrollable-
tanks. Like she doesn't faction buff, but I think she's arguably a better hero than Landius in many ways, aside from Landius being the buffer for ELS.
I mean, she can literally just be all like, "Oh, I let one assassin through. It's fine." Mark.
Or there was a game where
You're
like
not-
she marked a Vincent and
you're
Vincent
not doing
literally
anything.
couldn't attack because his 3C counts as a like he couldn't target anything but Sonya with his 3C. Like,
Yeah.
I think she should stay in. Not that many people played her, but I think she should stay where she is personally.
Definitely.
Moon's been playing around ladder. It's been strong. Don't.
Yeah.
So as far as both SP soldiers and Kasumi go, so I think SP soldiers come. I'm not even sure they actually come with the Randall update. I think Anarchy level 75
They come with
does.
Vargas. They come with Vargas.
Is that right?
The first 3 are Wizard, Spiders, and Holy Knights. They come with Vargas.
I don't think any of them are too strong to be like allowed or anything. I don't think we're gonna have to do like Hellcores were a special exception because they work on AoE and they worked on AoE on heroes that were allowed and super relevant with Hellcores, you know. That's why I don't think we necessarily need to ban the SP troops. As far as Kasumi goes, I don't think she comes into the tournament at a point that she is viable as a captain. Like I think she's going to be months before she's here, right? We're probably going to be done with the season before she's even out. We're not going to allow her if she's allowed as like only in Waifu War playoffs, you know. So I think she's a next season problem.
Yes, fine.
Wait, is she bad?
She's a PvE hero. She's like one of the strongest PvE heroes they've ever made, honestly. But she's not like a good Apex hero. Read her kit if you're interested. But basically, she has to like set up on a hero before she can actually do stuff. So she has to hit them first, and her range is not super impressive. The other one that would not be that good. We can't allow Marie Rose. She does. If we're banning Archer, we can't allow her.
Yeah, I've seen this. I've seen her do stuff. It's not good.
The other one is Neo Tengu, who's not like meta, but I think she'd be too strong in Waifu Wars because she has like last rights access, and then she has this thing that she can get 50% DR. So even though her range isn't crazy, I think that she'd be a pretty strong hero.
She have an extra life?
Not a life, but she just has a really, really tanky first life, kind of like Nornarin.
Gotcha.
She's not like a crazy hero, but I think she's probably a little strong for the format. I'm always, in general, hesitant to allow new heroes. So,
I mean,
have some nice.
Can always review it next season or whatever.
I think we'll get into it next season. Like we allowed Zion that one season because we just decided like early on, like, oh, it's probably fine. He's not meta or anything. And then when we got closer to Zion, it was kind of too late to ban him for this season, and then he was really, really strong.
Yeah.
So I think it's better to leave them in banned and then address it later if we think they should be unbanned.
Zion definitely does too much shit.
Especially, he's gonna get so buffed that he actually is meta. So no.
With his exclusive, yeah, we're definitely not.
Don't allow Zion back ever again.
Sorry. Does who have a what?
Virash have a casting.
Who?
Virash.
Oh, Virash. It gets him first strike. Yeah. He's still bad against mages, and he still, I don't think, is actually killing things that have troops, and he doesn't.
He gets first strike. Oh darn! Okay,
when he's almost dead, he has first strike.
Yes, I'm generous kind of to do right now. Doesn't he have extreme damage increase when he's almost dead?
Yeah, but that's not going to make up for having 0 troops.
One troop.
One troop. I don't think Virash is going to be super problematic. If somebody has a built Virash and wants to captain him or whatever, please go ahead and test. See if he's ridiculous. I don't think he's problematic.
I mean, he has 6 moves with wings, right? So, like, who cares?
Yeah, he's 6 move with 1 attack range. Well, actually, I guess he has Tidal Surge, so he becomes 9 attack range. That's still not very good. It's like fine.
He just never dies.
He doesn't guard ignore. He doesn't bust tanks. Like,
just fix damage, bro.
I don't think he's gonna be crazy. And yeah, also take 2 people to captain for Ash.
Just run Helena into him, and he's basically dead.
Yeah, I mean that is very much like anything with active after damage AoEs.
I think he just counter kills Helena.
No, I don't think so.
Even Epsi counter kills Helena. If he has first strike, he just counter kills Helena.
Your Helena sounds bad then. She has DR from Shiv and Cav Troop Tech. If Helena is getting counter killed, that's a problem.
My Epsi also counter killed other Helenas. This is common matter.
Maybe in the old days. That shouldn't happen nowadays.
It does. It does.
Then that's because people are using flyer troops instead of lizards, even though they should use lizards. You know, I'll just
no, even with lizards.
Sus. I call sus. Something would have to be wrong with Helena. She'd have to be like almost dead for that to happen. Anyways, that's
Full
not
HP.
what the point here is. Any huge complaints? Just kind of what we have now, or are we good to go to get this out to people sooner than later so they can test things out and we can come back to it later this week?
I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's pretty fine.
Any complaints about like the format rules that I released? I don't know if you guys have gotten a chance to actually read them. It's basically the same as the past season. I just added a little bit of extra text and I added a little bit of newbie onboarding at the top.
I did read the other rules, don't worry.
We're not going to move Tiara's mid-season. If she's going to be OP for part of the season or pick one for part of the season, she's going to be pick one for the whole season.
You're not allowing
the player
SP,
ranking,
right?
that's true.
I missed that. You're not allowing SPTRs, right?
We're not allowing
No.
SPTRs. We're allowing base
No,
TRs
okay.
with SP skills in pick one. Right now.
Okay, yeah, that's completely fine. That's completely fine. Because
yeah.
if you allow her SP, you're basically dealing with Rosenziel again.
Yeah, for sure. It's her SP is no way. Player ranking. So I guess that's one thing we should talk about is this season we mostly scrapped the boon system, but we kind of kept it for the new players and tier 3s, which it's basically new players and then Cookie and Nikki. In full honesty, was what tier 3 was this season. And then Free Kong. Do we want to like just completely scrap that and just only have tier 1, tier 2, and the tier 1s can't partner with each other? Or what do you guys think? Do we keep the new player boons? Because like
the limitation of player pairings is a must, because now we're gonna finish with two champion players in the same team.
Well, I mean, we're still gonna retain like we're not gonna allow pick ones or tier 1s to partner with each other or anything. You know, it's mostly just a question of do we want to keep the new player boons? If so, what kind of boons do we want to allow? Because some people got really annoyed about like Tiny getting 2 pick 2 or pick 1 healers, or Oliver getting pick 3.
That was me.
Pick 3 meta tanks was also annoying. Like it is a pretty strong boon.
I think we should get rid of boons. Honestly,
so like
we should do an entire season without boons again.
Yeah, so like I think
let's make more boons again.
No.
It's either we
like,
we figure out as a group weaker boons to allow, or we scrap it completely. Because I think that what were allowed last season was too strong and too annoying.
Yeah, let's scrap it for this season, and if it's too bad for the new players, then let's think again for some boons. But
they were Kong.
I
think that the base level we allowed for that was, in hindsight, too high. Like allowing an extra, like it used to be in the olden days that you used to get one extra of every pick one, which was ridiculous. It's just there were only a few people that got that. It's just I need ideas for what is a more appropriate power level. If we're going to keep it. So I don't want to just allow it if people don't help me come up with better ideas, is my point.
I mean, the only thing we could allow is special gear boons in this case. Where the
most I would allow is like picking the map. They can pick the map. That's how.
I mean,
that's what I give them.
This is a big boon. It depends which.
Or you just. That's true.
I mean, part of it is that the players that are in the, if we keep the boons, right, the players that are in that ranking should really need it to be on like fair footing. The question is, do we think that there are people that are really struggling to like win any games without that kind of thing? Or
at the moment, honestly, no. Like
how's about ranking them? Like, just keep track of like people's games this season and then next season. If somebody is like really struggling, you can give them a boon.
So like what I looked at was I did some reviewing of the scores from this past season, and I don't think there was more than a couple teams, or more than a couple players that got less than like 3 wins. So the ones
Well,
that
if you
did
want to argue that, I was in that category that
that
only got
weren't
like
ducks,
3
I should say,
wins.
like that people that played all or most of their games, other than like against Estow maybe. So it was Grenier with Rice Crew, Lonebird with Silvaria, but he missed a bunch of his games. Cookie with Lana, because Cookie and Nikki are the 2 tier 3 players. So one of them was going to end up in seed 1 and have an unpleasant time. JB with Jessica, and that's because Jessica's Jessica, to be honest.
Yeah.
I made her work some games, but it's hard when you're not in tier 2 to do
tier
that.
1 fight, I think we're playing with Jessica.
Exactly, that's the thing. I would have had the same result in seed 1. It was mostly just that I was playing seed 2s who made pick ban mistakes and stuff, Yeah, it was basically just that. Like, there's only a few people that really didn't do well.
That was with the boons though, but I still think it's fine without boons now.
So in terms of who had boons, it was Forstad, who we kind of assumed was a new player, so we didn't give him a boon, and he did very well, extremely well. Tiny also did extremely well. I really contribute a lot of that to you building his box for him. I know you don't think that was a big deal. I think that was a very big deal. Who else had boons?
I mean, I could build the box for every player here, and I don't think anyone would do as well as Tiny. From the tier 3 players.
Tiny is not a bad player. That's the thing.
Yeah, I underestimate. Like, I know I've fought Tiny before, but I've fought him like 4 or 5 seasons ago. I don't think he's really played Apex since then, but apparently he still knows how to play the game.
I mean, he's
Nikki
the Tiny account is still alive.
Anyways, Nikki had a boon, and they did fine with the boon. I think they might have struggled a bit more without the extra booster. I don't know. So it's like hard to balance. Like, do we just say get good Nikki, get good Cookie, get good noobs, or do we try to come
For
up
this
with
season? I do agree that you should do the get good skill issue.
So I don't know. Maybe Nikki deserves one still.
Yeah, I mean, I think Cookie.
Because Lana's not a bad hero.
No, Lana's not a bad hero. Neither Cookie or Nikki did that well, even with a boon.
But I think they probably just focused too much on Lana and just got countered.
Try to get that nuke ready when the nuke.
Nikki won a lot of the first few games they played, and then people watch stream and are like, "Oh, I just need to not ban incorrectly."
Yeah.
I mean, they did some good nukes.
Yeah, I think a lot of it does come down to just team matchmaking. Like, Cookie plus Nikki was always going to be a rough team because one of them was going to have to be seed 1. That's hard when you've got the 2 tier 3 players together. I think we just should try to.
Points is fine.
Yeah, I think we try no boons, honestly, is my opinion. Like, just nothing, and just tell them partner with somebody who is fine being in seed 1, or you are going to struggle in seed 1 if you're an underpowered account or underpowered player.
You get used to the pain, don't worry. Just do your covenants. It's not that hard, man. Just do the cheese.
It's not so much that, it's the people that, like, for example, one of my guildmates, Huron, wants to play this season. I went through the other day with him, like how he could build a waifu war box, and it's rough, man. It's really, really rough.
It's really rough.
I built one, really so you can complain again. Like Tiny also said he couldn't build one.
No, I mean, there's literally like 13 waifu war legal heroes that are built on his account. Like, that is it. He does. It's not like he has options. He literally can't make a full box of built heroes.
Tiny also had to build like 4 new heroes from.
No, but Tiny is an old hero with very well done troop training and high hero stars because that account is old. Like, he'd be playing with 4-star heroes that he's building fresh,
I think that's actually more of a problem of the game itself than actually the tournament.
Yeah. It's not anything we can really do to fix, and I think that us trying to fix it has led to the boon system, and I think we just have to say it's going to be hard. Be prepared for that. If people with that kind of
makes more
account are
sense.
trying to play, I think is what we should try this season. And if it's really, really unpleasant or they're just getting thoroughly crushed in every single game, then we can revisit.
And to be honest, I'm a very old player and I freaking struggle a lot in this format. So
Sometimes you skill issue, Volk. You're one of the ones I've given the most crap. Sometimes you're one of the ones I've given like the most crap to on streams when watching. So I have to give you kudos to like taking the punches, you know, and rolling with it.
You get used to it after so many years.
But yeah, I think that we're gonna say no new player boons or tier 3 boons or anything. It's just gonna be tier 1s which cannot partner with each other, and then everybody else. I think is how we'll format it. I'm not really ready to do a ranking stream today for like player rankings. I think that we'll kind of just assume until the next one where I will be ready to do it, like when we do a follow-up stream, that people are going to be ranked the same as they were last season. I don't think there's.
I mean, Mirhala should be tier 1, right?
Yeah, for the same reason as Loon, where they just kind of won a season, and Puelahala's never really done bad. Like this is their second win. I think Puelahala on tier 1.
They won with Mew, but no less.
Yeah, their other season was with MK, and I'm not sure Puelahala.
With Krolbox and Mew, he deserves tier 0, honestly.
Yeah, like his first win was on Team MK with Raven, and I don't think he actually had to play a game in that finals.
No, Raven just beat me there.
Raven beat the entire team. Because he just rolled P1 3 times, much like you won in the semifinals because you rolled P1 3 times, and that was when AoE Rush was like fully allowed.
MK, that was the issue in this match. Like it was so painful.
But yeah, anyways, I think we'll probably move Puelahala up. Otherwise, I think most people are staying the same.
Yeah, like the Puelahala deserves to be in tier 1. Like I agree with Meow. He doesn't deserve to be in tier 2 after winning with Moo.
Is there anyone else who has to be moved? Like, let's talk this through very quickly.
Let me
just so we know who.
Can someone give me the TLDR version of the rule stream?
So we are going to combine pick 1 booster and pick 1 DPS. We banned.
You combine pick 1 booster and pick 1 DPS. Okay.
So Akka, IBC, and Ashmar got moved there. We banned Patty and Hoffman outright. We banned Lucretia. We moved Burn into pick 1, and people are supposed to try to scrim with him to see if he needs to be banned. We're allowing Hellcores on heroes. We'll see how that does too. I think those are the major changes.
Are we letting male waifus in?
We are keeping so we added a few to the list from last season, and we're gonna try to allow them wings. None of them are particularly strong with wings. I've got up on stream the list now. It's Gory, Laird, Weiler, Yusuke, who's one of the stronger ones that people are gonna have to test.
Is the dangerous one.
Wait. So what about Lewin? I don't know how to say his name properly, but
Lewin?
Yeah, Lewin? I don't know.
Lewin,
whatever.
we are not allowing as a captain or with wings.
Wait, so you're allowing Yusuke with wings, but not.
Well, Yusuke can't wear wings.
I mean, Lewin does like a, what is it, like a 0.4 AoE? And
it's a strong AoE with fixed and dispel, and he's a really.
I thought you were saying Yusuke was allowed with wings.
Sorry. Oh no, he doesn't have a class that can wear wings. So the ones the ones that are relevant that can wear wings, the only ones who are like halfway viable with wings access is Rio and Gory, and Varash, I guess. Those are the 3 that are now going to be allowed wings that wouldn't have before.
Well, Emmerich can use wings if he sees Lancer form.
I mean, Emmerich doesn't matter though because he doesn't do damage. Like whether you deliver him as a cavalry or whether you deliver him as a lancer, he's not doing anything other than disabling the tank. Emmerich's not a huge deal.
Fair enough.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so we moved a few heroes up into male waifu. Pepsi got moved back into the restricted dude pool, and Lavina got moved back into the restricted dude pool rather than pick 1.
Okay.
And we did add Kyra to the pick 1 DPS.
Okay.
I think that's most of it. Bite and Bit brings up we did move. We don't have the icon yet, but we're going to put SP Matthew in pick 1, kind of like how SP Elwin is in pick 1. Same deal. For regular is not in pick 1, SP is in pick 1. So you have the choice.
Okay.
I think that's most of it.
It's the important stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll redo player rankings like sometime next week. We're gonna follow up, see how people do with the changes, and if there's anything that's really toxic. So we'll schedule a stream like early or late next week, and see how things go. Do player rankings.
No, it's tentative that there won't be any changes to the player rankings.
There probably won't be a whole lot. The only realistic one is probably moving Valhalla. I think everybody else is pretty much fine. Also, we're getting rid of boons for tier 3s. We're just going to try no boons and see how it goes.
Cool. All right, thanks.
Yep. All right, I'm going to take stream down there. We've been streaming a long time. My voice is hoarse. I'll see you guys later. I'll send out the picture later after I get some mustaches. Where we need mustaches. I'll see you guys later.
Later.
See you, man.